You are now listening to WSN Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
West Georgia's go-to show for all things sports.
From the best interviews in college radio.
Hey, this is Coach Joel Taylor, head football coach here at the University of West Georgia.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Bacon, Atlantic Sun Conference Commissioner.
To the hottest takes around.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack.
The Wolves play here.
What is up, everybody? And welcome to another Thursday edition of Sports Pack. As always, I'm your host, Richard Reed, joined by my dog, John Howley, who's over here killing it on the board, my dog, Jackson Schrader, and my boy, Aaron Walker, making him so far this semester. He was here last week talking about the fight, but today he'll be joining us for the full episode as Keyshawn is out handling some very top-secret business that we cannot currently disclose. We'll talk more about that later on, but how y'all feeling today?
Like $1 million, baby. I'm ready to get into this junk.
It's been a beautiful day. I'm feeling good, man.
Same. I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling great as well. Got my glasses on. I can see better than I've seen in a few weeks now.
Such a studious man.
I think I'm considering stopping my protest because I can see so clear right now.
Dude, the ball
West. And go ahead, shoot them. Follow on Instagram as well at UWG9_West on Instagram for more updates about special events and breaking news.
Yeah, and don't forget that Westwoods has a new resident pool and is now accepting all applicants. More information is located at livewestwoods.com.
Is Widener rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
This is easily one of the more exciting West Georgia Wolves football seasons I've ever been a part of.
Oh, 100%.
And I can confidently say I've been around here for a while now. This is my fourth year here at the University of West Georgia. I'm feeling just as old as I sound.
On status, dude.
But dude, this is my first time ever seeing us start off 3-0. Dominant win week 1 against Sanford, 34-3. Dominant win week 2 against Nichols on the road out there in Thibodaux, Louisiana, winning 34-10. And then this past Saturday, we had one of the most electric home environments I have ever seen at a West Georgia football game.
That jump was so fun. Beating
East Tennessee State, sending the Buccaneers home crying with a last-minute go-ahead touchdown to win the game 35-31. It was electric. And we're looking to keep this going this upcoming Saturday for our second home game in a row against Eastern Kentucky University. Now, this has the potential to be a very tough game, and we're going to let Coach Taylor let you know why.
I tell you, man, a lot of respect for, Coach Walt Wells, man. I think he does a phenomenal job. He's one of the old school guys, man. They're going to play really good defense, and they're going to control the ball on offense. The kids are going to play hard in the trenches. They're going to look good. They're long. So we're going to face a dang on team. I think it's going to be a trap game for us, honestly.
Now, you heard it from Coach Taylor himself. If you don't know, Coach Taylor is the head football coach here at the University of West Georgia. He's in his second year, and he's been doing an exceptional job. But he's a little weary of this Eastern Kentucky team. This is a team that shut our Wolves out on the road in Kentucky last year. This is not a team to play around with. And like Coach Taylor said, this has the potential to be a trap game. We're riding high right now, currently ranked 22nd in the FCS top 25. This West Georgia Wolves team is exciting. People are starting to look out for this team. We've gotten mentions on big-time Georgia sports pages, more attention than we've ever gotten in the 4 years I've been here. This is a big-time spot, and Eastern Kentucky could really come up big here. John, I want to start with you. Mm-hmm. Walk me through ways that Eastern Kentucky could pull up the upset this Saturday.
I mean, like Coach said, Eastern Kentucky, they're a very well-coached team, and they're very hard-nosed. And one thing to note is in the second-level kind of linebacker DB area, I mean, they had preseason All-Americans for the UAC. Sure. UAC. And when you have preseason All-Americans, I mean, you can lock down wide receivers all day. And then also their past two opponents, I mean, they've been FBS. They've been playing some hard teams from Marshall and Louisville, so they've been playing some really good competition. So we really have to make sure we're very smart with our pass decision and a couple of run plays here for this weekend.
Aaron?
Absolutely, I agree with what John said. It's very telling when a coach admits that it's a trap game and there's an opportunity to get got here. like John said, Eastern Kentucky, they're coming off 2 FBS opponents, 2 pretty bad losses. They're hungry.
Money
They're
games.
going to come to fight, and it's going to be a rock fight, and it's going to be, kicking, scratching, punching, biting, all of that. And if
Dan Campbell special.
if they're able to D up and control the clock and run the ball efficiently, it'll be a competitive game for sure.
Now, Schrader, this is their first game in the UAC conference. John just alluded to it a second ago, but conference play gets going now. This is our last home game for 2 weeks, but all these games coming up are conference games starting this Saturday against Eastern Kentucky. What must the Wolves do to get started off right in conference play?
Win. Because when you, plain and simple,
What
it's
a
win.
statement.
But when you
Absolutely.
look at how we played in UAC play last year, it was pitiful.
Right.
We were 1-7 in conference play. It was brutal to watch us play in the UAC. And so this year they have to start off strong. Because if we win this game, then we tie our win total in conference play from last year, which is just, in my opinion, that's unacceptable. You 1-7 in conference play. I get it was your first year at this new level, but 1-7, man, you got to do better than that. So if we can come out of the gate, get a good win here, like y'all have said, we really don't know too much about how Eastern Kentucky will stack up against our guys because they really haven't played anybody at our level. They've played Marshall, they've played Louisville. Those are 2 teams that are going to beat the crap out of Eastern Kentucky. And then Houston Christian, I don't even know if that's a real place.
Right,
So
exactly.
I really don't know how they're going to stack up against us. So there's a lot of unknowns, which provides a great answer to why Coach Taylor sees them as a trap game.
Exactly, and I think you all articulated it perfectly. There's no better way. I have nothing to add here except for one thing. Turnovers have been a problem with this West Georgia Wolves football team throughout the entire 3-game season. We have 7 interceptions in 3 games. That cannot happen against a team like this. Like y'all were saying, we don't know too much about Eastern Kentucky, but from what Coach Taylor alluded to in his press conference and went on to expound upon throughout the remaining 10 minutes of the press conference is this is a hard-nosed football team with an old-school head coach that wants to play good, strong defense and run the football. And when you're playing against a team like that, turnovers can really come back to bite you in the butt because you don't know when you're going to get the ball back.
Exactly.
Especially if they find ways to exploit this West Georgia Wolves defensive line and have success running the ball here. They might put together 5, 6, 7-minute drives, so that turnover flips the game because when you get the ball back, you might have turned it over early in the third, but now you're not getting the ball back until early in the fourth quarter.
Just watch Georgia Tech.
Exactly,
It's
just
the
like
same
Georgia
kind
Tech.
of play style. They run the ball efficiently and pass when they want to. That's the dream. In my eyes, that's perfect football, is establishing a run game that makes the pass game optional. And when you do that, it wreaks havoc on the other team because they can't make a mistake. If you play perfect, flawless football to where the other team can't make a mistake, that's where you win games.
Exactly.
And so we have to limit Eastern Kentucky's ability to establish that run game.
I have no notes, Schrader. That was a perfect way to wrap it all up. If you want to hear more in-depth breakdowns on this West Georgia football game, tune into the Playbook tomorrow afternoon right here on Wolf Sports Network. And also be sure to tap into the Wolf Sports Network live tailgate show. We'll be live from 4 to 5:30 on the Hill preparing you for the game and talking about other college football as well.
And go to the game.
How about it?
Have fun.
Go to
It
the
was
game.
an electric environment. They were lighting off fireworks after every touchdown. West Georgia games are a must ticket, man. That's a must-have ticket.
Concessions ain't expensive either.
Not at all.
You get
Food
the whole
ain't-
package.
Great time.
Food ain't too shabby
Great
either.
time.
Look, if you're a decent-looking individual, go up there, flirt a little bit, you might get a free slice of pizza or two. Look, who knows?
How do you know that, Richard?
You never know.
We get treated
Let's
very
just say
well
he's
here.
never paid for pizza.
We get treated very well here at the University of West Georgia. Now, before we move on, there's other sports going on right here in UWG as well. Our women's soccer team will be on the road this weekend.
Yep.
First tonight, actually traveling to Jacksonville, Florida, to take on the University of North Florida. They will be kicking off right as we wrap Sports Pack up at 7 p.m. So be sure to tune in if you have ESPN Plus or if you're in the Jacksonville area, slide through there and check out our girls. And then they will remain in Jacksonville, Florida this upcoming Sunday. Well, that's a long trip to Duval. Well, they will take on They will take on Jacksonville University Sunday at 1 p.m. So if you're in the area, maybe going to see the Jaguars play for some odd reason because they ain't throwing Brian
If you
Thomas the
happen
ball.
to
I don't
be in
know why.
Jacksonville.
Right. If you happen to be in Jacksonville for any reason, be sure to check them out. If you have ESPN Plus, tune in as well. They're looking to keep their hot streak going through conference play. And our volleyball team is also on the road at the Mercer Invitational. Their game started about 10 minutes ago right right as we started Sports Pack against Mercer University. They started play at 6. And then tomorrow they play against UT Martin at 4 p.m. Then they will round out the Invitational at 10 a.m. where they play the University of North Dakota. I tell you what, for a team in West Georgia, we sure do play North Dakota a whole lot.
That's true.
Now, before we go to our break, I just want to remind you all that college students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week are roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or a project as a result of drinking. That is why Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is always here to remind us that students drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Now, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick song break, but when we return, we're unpacking this college football season.
Darn
this
right.
is Sports Pack right here on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7.
Welcome aboard to Sports Out of Pocket Airlines, your nonstop flight to the highs and lows of the sports world. This is your Captain Jackson Vole speaking, and this is Flight Path, where we chart every climb and dive. Teams taking off to championship skies and players hitting unexpected turbulence. Buckle up, sports fans, and fasten those seatbelts, because when the whistle blows, we're cleared for takeoff. Listen to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports Out of Pocket has a brand new showtime.
Yeah.
But what time is it at?
I don't know.
It's not 5 to 6.
Uh-huh.
It's not 7 to 8.
Uh-huh.
It's 6-7. Wolf Sports Network. It ain't just a game. It's everything. This is where the best separate themselves from the rest. But to be the best, you gotta read the best. And the best is the playbook.
Let's go. Yeah, go.
Tune into the playbook, Fridays at noon on Wolf Sports Network. Hello? Can anybody hear me? I can't see anything. It's like a snowstorm out here.
JT, I need your help.
What? Who goes there?
I'm the ghost of Out of Pocket Past.
Nah, bro. I don't mess with ghosts.
But I need a sports fan that has zero chill.
Well, now that you mention that, this is gonna be Out of Pocket. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket, Zero Chill. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network.
All right. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills.
21%?
21%. I'm not good at math, but that's 21%. And we're collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. That's thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive.
And while you're on our website, while you're going to websites, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com, hit the About button in the top left-hand corner, and click Merch Store so you can get out of them tacky clothes I'm sure you have on as of right now. Not that there's anything wrong with being tacky. Tacky Day was a staple at my elementary school. It was a lot of fun. Me and Aaron had most of our bonding on Tacky Day. It was great.
Absolutely.
Tacky Day was dope.
I won it like every year.
Exactly. Look, Aaron good at being tacky. That's why we just got some Wolf Sports Network merch. So if you're sick of being tacky, you want to get a little formal or just have some better chill clothes, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com, click the About button and hit Merch Store, and we have pretty much anything you could ever want in our merch store so you can show support to us here at Wolf Sports Network. If there's something there you think we should have, follow us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network. Shoot us a DM and let us know what you want. We love hearing back from you all. Now, let's talk some college football.
Baby, it's college football time. Give me my theme music.
Now, during that quick portion before we started college football, I mentioned me and Aaron bonding during Tacky Day. I know for some people that would be kind of weird, like, what does that even mean? Me and Aaron went to the same elementary school. Like, I've known this brother for a minute. There are pictures of me at my first birthday party, and he's there. So, like, I've known Aaron for generations. So that's
since diapers,
right? Literally since diapers. But I just had to go ahead and clear that up. Huge college football weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't really talking about this weekend.
Nope.
College game day even picked the wrong game to go to.
Agreed.
But there is a lot of good football going on. I have 4 top 25 matchups pinpointed and highlighted for this segment today. And I want to start off with what I think is probably the biggest game of the year. Not the biggest game of the year so far, but the biggest game of this week so far. And that is the 17th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders going on the road to take on the 16th ranked Utah Utes. That game is huge. If you haven't been watching the Big 12 race, these are two teams that have been dominant through and through. Utah, a lot of people forgot about after last year in their first year outside the Pac-12, which they dominated. They had a down year last year. But that's because they're not the kind of program that rebuilds, that reloads every single year. They have to take time to rebuild. And it looks like they've been rebuilt very well. But this Texas Tech team has also been doing some building, and that's out the transfer portal, utilizing NIL, leveraging the portal, and bringing in top-tier recruits. So, Schrader, you got the pen in your hand. You looked official. You look ready. Break down this matchup for me and explain why this is such an important game so early in the season.
Well, this is such an important game so early in the season. One, because it's a ranked matchup. It's week 4. I mean, should have been game day. I don't know what ESPN was thinking, but generally I don't know what ESPN is thinking. But this game is huge because it's the conference opener for both of these teams. And Texas Tech looks great, right? They got a $40 million roster this season.
Something like that.
I mean,
it's $28 million, but
$28
same
million.
groceries, different
Dude,
bag.
they've invested a crap ton of money into this thing. But right, this one's huge because they look like they've played like they've been paying to play. And Utah looks solid because of Devin Dampier. He is
he's been balling.
Absolute dog. If you see Heisman boards right now, most people have him in the top 5. You look at quarterback rankings, he's definitely in the top 5. He's tearing it up. But this game for the team that wins it shows that they are a contender for the Big 12. And for the team that loses it, like the Big 12 is so crazy that this is a game that you're going to stumble out of the gate and you're going to have to recover. And neither of these teams want to have to recover. They want to set the tone for the season. And so this game is going to be an absolute dogfight in Utah. And, of course, it's big noon because why would this be a night game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be in a complete dogfight. Salt Lake City is one of the most underrated college football
100%.
spots.
100%.
In the country. Rocking environment, rabid fans. They love their program. It's going to be an excellent game. Utah, over the past 5 years, has become a very respectable program, someone who you can always count on to get an 8 or 9 wins and be in the race for the Big 12. They're always going to be in the hunt. Texas Tech, they're just recently coming back on, like Richard said previously, using the portal, using the NIL. You can always guarantee them to throw the ball. So it's going to be a very offensive game. Utah can run and throw. They very balanced team, great defense. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be some great football played. Yeah.
And Utah, like you said, plays a very balanced brand of football. With Devin Dampier, they can now stretch the ball down the field. The quarterback run is back. They had it some with Cam Rising some years ago, but not to the level of Devin Dampier.
Bro, Mr. Lincoln is gone. It's a new era.
Dude, Devin Dampier is dynamic. 7 touchdowns, no picks on the season. But on the other side of the football is some ballers over there as well. Now we're going to move off of this game, but Schrader, you will not be here for our game pick segment.
I will not.
So I want you to tell us who you got to win this game and a quick description as to why.
I really just like Utah because it's in Salt Lake City. Like he said, those fans are absolutely insane.
Yeah, they
They love this team. They'll pack that place out when they play Kent State. And so I'm really excited to see that environment, and I think that's really what's going to give them the edge over Texas Tech.
Now, like I said, Schrader, already going with Utah early. Stay tuned for our pick segment at the end of the show. We will make our game picks and revisit this game. But there's another big-time game going on as well. I told you, 4 top 25 matchups, and for some reason, nobody's talking about it. Outside of guys like Josh Payton, guys that eat, sleep, and do college football, nobody's really talking about this
True
stuff.
ball knowers.
So, boom, the Auburn Tigers going on the road for their first game of SEC play. Some are calling the Jackson Arnold revenge game. Going to take on the Oklahoma Sooners in a big-time matchup. The Sooners are ranked as the number 11 team in the nation if you've been under a rock recently. John Mateer has been balling, showing everybody that it was the right decision to push Jackson Arnold out and bring in this West Coast guy to help run this team. Incredible game. A lot of storylines wrapped around it. Brent Venables and the guys are going to get started off strong as to what is arguably the hardest schedule in college football, especially when they enter SEC play. So this is a big-time game for the Sooners, John. Break it down for me, son.
Look, the main storyline, as you already mentioned, is Jackson Arnold returning back to Oklahoma. He was kicked out of there. He was kicked to the curb, everything. And it's just what will happen once he gets in there, because it's going to be one heck of a game. It's going to be some hard-nosed football. It's going to be SEC. That place is going to be loud over in Norman. I remember we talked about it last year. It is one heck of a place to play in Norman. You don't know what's going to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think it's going to come down to the wide receivers. I mean, Oklahoma's top receiver is a tight end right now. So for Oklahoma, try to see if they're going to get their wide receivers involved. But then also for Auburn, you have Eric Singleton Jr., the transfer from Georgia Tech, already over there in Auburn, balling out 149 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. So I'm really taking a look at the pass game here. Who's going to get ahead in the game? And then obviously, who gets ahead, how are you going to come back from it on the defensive side of the ball?
Now, John, I think you're 100% correct. This game is going to be won by the wide receivers of these teams. And we don't say that a lot. A lot of times we talk about run game and trenches, but the wide receivers are very important. This Auburn team has big-time names at wide receiver in Eric Singleton, in Cam Coleman, who I feel is one of the best wide receivers in college football. Absolutely. But as of up until this point, Jackson Arnold has not been able to find these guys. And Brent Venables is an exceptional defensive coordinator, won national championships at Clemson before taking the Oklahoma job. And this is probably the best defense he's had in his time at Oklahoma. And they're going to try to make Jackson Arnold throw the ball, eliminate the QB run, eliminate the run game altogether, and make him beat them with his arm. So he's going to have to find guys like Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman for Auburn to have a chance in this big-time SEC matchup.
Yeah, and when I look at this matchup, I assume you want me to preview and pick it like we did the last game.
Oh, yeah, you can go for it.
Yeah, so
we got more games to get to in limited time.
We do. So what I'll say really quickly is I was actually at an Auburn game not long ago where they played Ball State. They won 45-3. It looked great on paper, but when you watch it, Auburn plays very slow football.
Yes, they do.
And they make a good bit of mistakes, which is not going to be able to happen against a Brett Venables defense. And now he's got an offense, right? Oklahoma's offense has been stagnant when he's been there. His defense has always been solid, but now there's an offense. This is the first time that we've seen Venables have a team complete, and it looks like his team. And for that reason, I'm going to go Oklahoma, not because it's in Norman, but because I think Oklahoma is just a better team overall when it comes to the cognitive side of the game.
Now let's pivot to a team that recently played Oklahoma a few weeks ago. The Michigan Wolverines are going on the road to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who are currently sitting at 3-0. This is also the third year of Matt Rule being in Nebraska. And if you don't know the Matt Rule, he gets into a program, whether it's Temple, whether it's Baylor, no matter who it is, as long as it's not the Carolina Panthers. By that third year of his tenure, he will take a poverty franchise and have them competing at the highest level in college football. Well, it's year 3. He's got his quarterback in Dylan Raiola, the Patrick Mahomes impersonator. He's been playing some pretty solid football. He has a very solid receiver core that he helped build, that he kind of built through the transfer portal. The pieces are there. The defense is solid, but here's their chance to prove it. Aaron, do you think the Nebraska Cornhuskers improved to 4-0 against the Michigan Wolverines, or does Michigan have something in store for Matt Rule?
It's hard to say. It's going to be a very competitive ball game. Lincoln is always rocking. It's an insane environment. It's always going to be a competitive game, no matter who it is. No matter if it's peak Alabama in Nebraska, it's going to be a fight just because those fans utterly love college football and they love their Cornhuskers. Michigan, a very defensively solid team. They've gotten off to a decent start to the season. They had a bit of a slip up against Oklahoma in Norman, like we just said, a hard place to play. But they have said that they're taking the reins off of their freshman quarterback, and he seems to me like he's going to be the real deal. So
he ran for over 100 yards last week.
It could very well be his coming out party and putting himself in the national spotlight as someone to keep an eye on, and maybe as someone as one of those transcendent freshmen that pop up in college sports all the time. It's going to be a very competitive game. It's going to be
Bryce Underwood was an extremely highly touted recruit. Originally committed to LSU, pivoted over to Michigan when a lot of those big donors like Tom Brady kind of got in his ear, and I don't blame him. Michigan is a great program, and I feel like over these next few years with Bryce Underwood, they will really get back to the top of college football, especially now they have a guy like Bryce. But, Schrader, do you think this is his coming out party this weekend, or do you think it'll take some more time?
I really like Bryce Underwood. I know he has all the talent in the world, but there's one thing that I saw in that Oklahoma game that made me kind of think it might take a little bit for him to really reach that potential, and it's his leadership skills. And not necessarily saying he's not a good leader, but late in that Oklahoma game, he let the frustration get the best of him, and he kind of just went after his receivers on the sideline, which that happens, right? I'm not going to discredit him as a player for that happening, but when that happens, it doesn't necessarily work. That doesn't get the receivers going. They need somebody to tell them, hey, let's go, in a way that's not just screaming in their face in frustration. And the other thing is Michigan relies on their run game more than they do their pass game. And this Nebraska team, they got one heck of a defense. A Matt Rule defense is a solid defense, and Nebraska's always going to have a good defense. And I yet again think that Michigan isn't just quite there yet. I think they will be. Bryce Underwood's going to lead them to a very high level, but I just don't think so in his fourth game, so I think Nebraska's going to take this one in a close one.
Now, there's another big game in the Big Ten that is another top 25 matchup as well. The 9th-ranked Illinois Fighting Illini going on the road to take on the 19th-ranked Indiana Hoosiers. It's easy to forget that Indiana was a playoff team last year behind first-year head coach Kurt Signetti and quarterback Kurt Rourke. Not Kurt Rourke. Curtis Rourke. My gosh, so many K's and C's all around. Curtis Rourke. Exactly. But now they have a guy by the name of Fernando Mendoza as their signal caller, and they have looked solid very, very early on this season. Now, granted, they played Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State, but you can only play who's in front of you, and they just dropped 73 points against Indiana State last weekend.
Well, they play who's in front of them because they put them in front of them.
Right, but I mean, that's who's taking the field. You got to play against them. But Illinois started off strong as well.
Yep.
With a big win against Duke, 45-19, where they kind of pulled away in the second half to kind of assert their dominance to show, hey, man, we're still a very good team behind quarterback Luke Altmaier. This is a very solid game. As of right now, it's a very close point spread. Indiana's favored by about 1.5 points on most sports books that I've looked at. So, Schrader, it's pretty much been your segment because you're getting out of here at around 6:30. So, walk me through this game and who you got taking it.
You know, I think this is going to be an interesting game. We're going to learn a lot about Indiana. I think I know what I need to know about Illinois because Bielema, is that his last name?
Yeah, Bielema.
Yeah, absolute unit. Big unit's what I call him. But he is an outstanding coach, and his guys just play hard-nosed Big Ten football straight out of the 90s. And that's what they did against Duke. They just wore Duke down to where they couldn't function by the end of it. I mean, I felt bad for Mensa, but I really didn't because I knew that this Illinois team is the real deal. Dadgum, I can't speak right now. But I really think that Indiana, this ain't a Group 5 team. This is a real team walking in to Indiana, and I don't think Indiana's going to have what it takes to beat them. I like Mendoza, but I watched him play against my Florida State Seminoles last year, and he didn't look great at all.
Right.
And that was a 2-10 Florida State team. Thankful for the win. It was kind of nice to see that happen. But I really like Illinois, and I think Illinois is going to win this one pretty comfortably.
A lot of very interesting college football games this weekend. We're going to dive into a few more of these games later on in the show and revisit them as well as we make our picks at the very end. But for now, we got a little bit more sports to talk about. There are other things outside of football going on in the sports world, so I want to start off with the MLB, where there's some breaking news coming out. The LA Dodgers just put out earlier this morning that this will be Clayton Kershaw's last season as a pitcher in the MLB, when he will be officially hanging up the cleats at the end of the season. There's some long faces around the table, so I'll just open it up. How did that news make you all feel?
I mean, just a little sad. I mean, Kershaw's an absolute dog. I mean, he's a 11-time All-Star and a 3-time NL Cy Young Award winner. I mean, just to see him hanging up, it's like, dang. I mean, he's been around for a long time. I mean, over 3,000 career strikeouts. He's got a huge legacy, and to see him hang up the cleats, it's like, it takes a little bit out of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a terrible loss for the sport. It'll never be the same. We all grew up watching him. He's a staple, a pillar of the sport of baseball, and for my money, one of the most dominant players at his position we've ever seen. A truly gifted talent, and the sport will miss him. It's going to be hard to watch baseball knowing that a figure like that, who has garnered such prestige in the space and put in so much time and dedication and touched so many people, not being there anymore. But we wish Clayton Kershaw the best, and we hope he has a great retirement. And Great career.
Yeah, baseball without Clayton Kershaw is going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember the MLB without him.
Yeah, I mean, there's good players, there's great players, there's star players, but Kershaw was a generational player.
Absolutely.
And generational players hold a special place in our hearts because he was the face of the MLB. He was, when you thought pitchers growing up, like that was the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he's been loyal to the Dodgers, which is probably pretty easy because they'll hand you as much money as you want them to. But seeing a guy that stays with the team the whole time and a team that cares about a guy like he does, I mean, he hasn't played necessarily out of his mind the last few years. His prime's kind of over, but he's still a solid pitcher. Trust me, I'm a Marlins fan. I see a lot of not solid pitchers, and I would kill to have a guy like Kershaw right now on the team. But he's an outstanding player, and I know we're making it sound like he died. Which
we really are. He got real somber.
Part of the sport died,
but you know, he's going to have a great retirement. He's probably going to come back somehow in coaching, but it's great to see that he's moving on from the playing side of his career to now the who knows what retirement. He's probably going to be on a podcast. He's on Dude Perfect's podcast like a week ago, so we'll see how it goes.
Clayton Kershaw being on Dude Perfect's podcast is like one of the coolest things.
You want to talk about our childhood?
Dude, like just coming together. Dude, it's beautiful. Now, we also have other sports going on as well, as the Atlanta Dream are looking to close out their series against the Indiana Fever tonight. It's currently tied 1-1. ESPN is giving our hometown Atlanta Dream a 65% chance to win this game against the Caitlin Clark-less Indiana Fever. It's been a very entertaining series with the Indiana Fever taking the last game 77-60.
Are they 3-game series? Or are they longer?
I believe so.
That's crazy.
I was listening to First Take earlier, and they referred to it like it was over. I was like, why would it be ending that soon? You know what? Don't ask me another question like that again.
I'm sorry.
Because we do have to move on because the Las Vegas Aces are also moving forward in their series against the Seattle Storm. They are also being given over a 60% chance to win this game, looking for a big game from Asia Wilson, who has averaged over 20 points and 10 rebounds in her season this year. She is absolutely incredible to watch.
Yeah.
So if you're around, listen. Cut on these two games, two big-time games, two big-time series. WNBA has been very entertaining
Watch
this
women's
season.
basketball. It's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you haven't given it a chance
basketball.
yet, I really think you should. They play very strong, fundamental basketball. As my dad would say, they can't just jump over the game like the NBA players do. Yes. They actually play the game of basketball. It's pure. It's very fun to watch. One of the only players that I say kind of jump over the game is Asia Wilson because she just kind of cuts on team takeover like somebody's playing 2K. It's like nobody can stop her at some points. And the Las Vegas Aces play at 9:30 on ESPN2. Now, don't go anywhere. Schrader, we want to thank you for tuning in with us today.
Somewhere.
Yeah, Schrader's getting up out of here, but we got more people coming through, so stay tuned. Because when we get back from this ad break, we're going to take... What am I saying? When we get back from this quick ad break, we're going to talk some NFL and make our game picks. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey y'all, it's Schrader. Now don't go anywhere because you're listening to Sports Pack here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Man, this beat brings back memories. Anyways, let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all college basketball, football, and baseball. Fridays at noon. The Playbook, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at Playbook Training Camp. Now we throw it down to Joey, who's interviewing head coach Brandon Dyer.
Thanks, JT. I'm here with head coach Brandon Dyer. And Brandon, there have been many reports about starting punter Jackson Voss saying that he peaked in high school. Now, what are your thoughts on how he will perform this semester with the playbook?
Well, Joey, I have full confidence that Jackson Voss will be a breakout star for the playbook this season. And you'll find out Fridays at noon only on Wolf Sports Network.
Step right up, folks. It's season 2 of the Playbook, where we're talking everything college basketball and baseball and...
Wait, Jackson. Dude, it's fall. And just like a playbook, I think we need to call an audible.
Ready! Omaha, hot!
We are talking strictly college football all semester on season 2 of the Playbook, Fridays at noon, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's time for season 2 of the playbook,
and we're talking all things college football, putting together a better sophomore season than Tim Tebow in 2007.
To the listeners and everybody at Wolf Nation, I promise you one thing. You will never see an on-air personality work as hard as I will for Season 2 of The Playbook, and we will make this show better than any college football radio show will ever be for Season 2 of The Playbook.
Listen as we fulfill this promise, live, every Friday at noon.
Binge drinking is consuming 5 or more drinks on one occasion for males and 4 or more for females. However, some college students drink at least twice that amount. That's exactly why Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is here to remind all of our Wolves to stay safe when drinking, to never drink under the age of 21, and to always have a designated driver. And you know what? You might as well throw in some good food while you're at it. So if you're for some reason drinking on a Wednesday night, swing by Fried Chicken Wednesdays at West Commons Dining Hall first. Faculty and staff can now get their own meal plans by visiting westga.edu/dinewest. That is westga.edu/dinewest. Follow at UWG_Dine_West on Instagram for more updates and events. Oh, okay, hold on. I was going to move on to the NFL, but seems like we got a call. Hello, this is Sports
Hey
Back.
there, this is Zach Defelsky calling in from Kennesaw. Big fan of the show. Love every one of you on the panel. What I wanted to call in about today was the Kansas City Chiefs, and in particular, how worried should they be starting out 0-2? Because I think the AFC West is the strongest they have been in a very long time. The Chargers have already shown that they can beat the Chiefs, and the Broncos are on the uptrend as well. Don't count out those Raiders. They could be frisky too, but the Chiefs starting 0-2, is there a path for them to still win the AFC West yet again?
Now, before I tackle that question, I want to welcome my guy Riley Ford to the show. He will be an on and off again guest here on Sports Back. Riley, we appreciate you for hanging out with us from here on out. Now, like I said, he's going to replace Schrader for the rest of the day. He's going to be here for the rest of the show, so this is our core group. So, Riley, since you're new to Sports Pack this year, I want you to tackle that question. Do you think the Chiefs can still win the AFC West?
Absolutely. We saw something very similar to this 2 years ago in the 2023 season. They weren't 0-2, but they did start out extremely rocky,
right,
but did end up snowballing a little bit and winning a bunch of games, ending 11-6, which is not a bad record by any means.
At all.
And these other teams in the AFC West, I agree, the Chargers are strong. I believe the Broncos are strong, but the Raiders are not frisky, though. However, those other teams do have major weaknesses right now. Rashawn Slater being out for the Chargers hasn't really reared its ugly head just yet, but I think it could in some key games against playoff-level teams. And I think the Broncos have looked good, but they just lost to the Colts, which is like, we'll see how good the Colts end up being, but for right now might be somewhat of an embarrassing loss, especially since they doinked a kick in that game.
Right.
So I think these other AFC West teams can definitely slip up later down the line, and the Chiefs can get better. I mean, they are missing Xavier Worthy right now. They'll get Rashee Rice back in after the suspension. They definitely can really push near the end of the season to win it, you know.
Now, you discussed why they can still win the AFC West. I agree with everything you just said right there. But, Aaron, I want to ask you something. Because, yes, they have started off 0-2. But like you said, Riley, we've seen rocky starts from teams. The Ravens started off rocky last year, went off to do wonders. The Bengals a few years ago started off rough, made the Super Bowl. When you look at this Chiefs team this year, yeah, they're going to get healthier. Rashee Rice is going to come back week 7. I almost said Marquise Brown.
Hollywood Brown?
Xavier Worthy will be back soon. They're similar style receivers. That's why I got them mixed up. But Xavier Worthy will be healthy again soon. But the rest of the AFC has risen to the occasion. The Bills look great, of course. The Ravens look great. The Colts are starting to show that they can dominate. They've been doing a lot. They've been turning a lot of heads in the AFC South. The Texans still have a championship level defense as well. With the rest of the league starting to rise to the occasion, do you think this year's Chiefs team still has what it takes to make a playoff and Super Bowl push?
I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with no. I don't think so. I believe that specifically the AFC has caught up with them. I believe teams such as the Ravens and the Bills, I think they have a better continuity going into this season and just right now as of today. I believe that even the AFC West, the division, I don't believe that that's necessarily set in stone just because of the Broncos and the Chargers starting to really challenge as well. It's the Chiefs. It's Andy Reid. It's Patrick Mahomes. You can never
don't count them out.
Yeah.
I can't count them out. That's why I hesitated on the no.
Yeah.
But I just can't really see with their current predicament. I can't see them making it over a Bills squad or a Ravens squad when it gets to January and it's winner take all, and it's cold outside and, you got to play.
Exactly. And another big team with that team is, skill position, sure. Rasheed Rice going to be back. He's going to bring a lot of volume to the team. Xavier Worthy as well. But the offensive line has not been very sound whatsoever. Patrick Mahomes has run more this season than we've ever seen him run. Like, his rushing numbers are up tremendously. He's looking like he's on pace to be the leading quarterback rusher in the NFL. And that kind of play will not result in long-term Kansas City Chiefs success. I don't think so. Now, I do want to move off of this game and go to the Atlanta Falcons, who are on the road for their second NFC South matchup in Carolina versus the Panthers. John, I want to start with you. What do you need to see from this Falcons team to get to 2-1?
I just need to see a solid game. The Panthers are kind of had a rough, shaky start to the beginning of the season. I thought, we saw what happened at the end of the year last year. Bryce Young played absolute like a freak against us and really embarrassed us when this. It's always the magical game of the Falcons and the Panthers when somehow a team that should not win always ends up winning. It is the weirdest thing. So what I want to see here is I just need to see a fundamental game. Defense, just create pressure again. Obviously, that offensive line is wishy-washy, let's put it that way, over in Carolina. So let's see if we can get those 5 sacks back in, make that maybe, 6 sacks or something like that. And just to make sure that...
Well, we had 6 sacks last game, so we want to make it 7.
But let's make it 7 in the first half. Right, we'll say that. And then I just think, with losing A.J. Terrell being a week-to-week right now, just make sure that we still have the defense in a very solid place. I think we do. I'm not too worried about it. Billy Bowman Jr. is doing a great job. Our rookies are doing phenomenal.
Xavier Watts look like an all-pro.
Oh, my gosh. Tell me about it.
From my end, I need to see a dominant defensive game, if I'm being honest. Carolina has their starting center and their starting right guard, I believe, out basically indefinitely for long-term injuries. And so Carolina, their offensive line, already weak to begin with. They lose 2 starters on the interior. I kind of need to see the Falcons wreck shop here. I need to see, especially James Pierce Jr., especially Jalen Walker, I need to see those guys really get out there and put in work against a very weakened team, a team that wasn't good to begin with, is even weaker now. I just need to see something dominant on defense. A.J. Terrell being out, obviously you don't love that. However, Carolina offense also very lacking in terms of skill positions, so I don't think that's a huge loss for this game in particular. It's well-timed in that regard, but I need to see Falcons defense really put on a show, and I need Drake London to kind of come out of his shell.
Is there fantasy implications on that? Is there fantasy implications on Drake London? Because I'm on that boat.
But when you have a guy, even if you do have him on your fantasy team, he had 1,200 receiving yards last year.
Oh, yeah.
And so far in these first 2 games, he has been a non-factor. Yeah. Even in the first game against Tampa Bay, and the Falcons' passing offense looked good. Michael Penix was sharp. Drake London didn't come to play. He had a few catches in the game, ended up going out with the injury, but he was not there in the big-time moments when the Falcons needed him. I'm with you 100%, Riley. This should be a big-time coming-out party for the Falcons' defense. Really get out there, flex their muscles, get after Bryce Young, who, I hate to say it, is struggling again in the now 3rd year of his career. Yeah. It's time for these Falcons defenders to get after him, help build that confidence. Maybe Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman get more interceptions, step up while A.J. Terrell is out. Like I said, this is perfect timing. And also for this Falcons defense to now find a balance. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. But let me clear my throat. Okay, sorry. I couldn't not do that. But it's time for them to really find that balance, because in week 1, they were throwing the ball a lot. Penix threw, I think, right around 40 passes. Then the second game, they didn't throw the ball enough. Still got the big-time win. Really established the run game. It's time to find that balance, because these running backs, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, they are elite, one of the better, arguably one of the best running back duos in the NFL. But then his passing attack can be dynamic as well. Darnell Mooney had over 900 receiving yards last season. Drake London had over 1,200. And now you have Michael Penix, who we all know at his best is a very capable left-handed passer with a rocket strapped to his left shoulder. It's time to find that balance and really take this next step forward as a team as you start moving deeper into the season. The Falcons need to go to get their record at 2-1 here and really kind of assert their dominance against a weaker Carolina Panthers team that'll still give you some fight. This is like the perfect team to help build some confidence in.
Well, yeah.
Against.
Also to add on, it's like you need to build the confidence because the next couple of games, I mean, you play the Bills and the Commanders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you need that confidence going into these bigger games because these two teams that we're about to play after this, they're very, very good and very well coached. So we need this big time.
You're exactly right, John. Build your confidence here because next week got a home. Both these are home games, but you have the Washington Commanders coming in that next week. Got a bye week, and then that next week on October 13th, you have a Monday Night Football primetime game in Mercedes-Benz. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. The Falcons need to build their confidence now, be ready coming out of that bye week to really take on the Bills and show the nation that these dirty birds are legit. Now, there's another big-time game this weekend. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting the LA Rams, a team that kind of pushed the Eagles to their brink in the playoffs, the only team in that playoff run, in that Super Bowl run, that we saw the Philadelphia Eagles somewhat struggle with. Now, Riley, you've been killing it so far this segment, so I want to start with you as well. Give us a brief overview of this game and what you expect to see out of these two teams.
I expect the Eagles to pass quite a bit in this game.
Please.
I think the Rams' D-line is very strong this season with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk coming into their second year, and therefore, I mean, the run game, Saquon, he's great, but I don't know how great he's going to be against that Rams D-line.
Right.
And so Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw that ball out more. He's going to throw it to A.J. Brown. He's going to throw it to Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. I think that this will become something of a shootout because the Eagles' D-line is also so great.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it's at. And I think this game will be determined by if Philadelphia's secondary can step up. They've been kind of quiet the past 2 weeks. Can they step back up to what they were doing? Can they show us, hey, we can get a pick six in the Super Bowl. We can still do that. We can still get it done against the Rams because I think the secondary for the Rams is probably their biggest question mark right now.
Exactly. And you're 1,000% right. Their secondary is their biggest question mark. But this is the Eagles team that we haven't seen stretch the ball down the field. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have been very quiet so far. There's been running the ball, and they ran the tush push 7 times last Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm the Rams, I'm going to force them to throw the ball. It's hard to stop Saquon Barkley when you have a defensive line like that. Excuse me. When you have an offensive line like the one he's running behind. But this Rams defense can push the ball down the field. Matthew Stafford still got it. They were my preseason pick to make the NFC Championship. Them and the Green Bay Packers after they acquired Micah Parsons. But this receiving core is legit. You have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, two of the best wide receivers in all of football. And Devontae Adams is one of the best route-running wide receivers the game has ever seen. And then you have a guy like Matthew Stafford who still has one of the biggest arms in the NFL at age 65, pinpoint accurate, can throw it through a car wash without the ball getting wet. This is a real deal team. If anybody's going to make you throw the ball, it's going to be this Sean McVay-led Rams team. Now, before we get into our picks, John, remind the people of our policy.
You know it.
SportsPack and Wolf Sports Network are not liable for any financial losses that may occur due to using our picks outside of the show. These are just our opinions. Don't blame us. Blame the players. You heard it here, folks. We've crossed all our T's and dotted all our I's. Now it's time to make the picks. John Howley. John Eugene Howley.
Whoa.
After what you've heard from me and Riley.
Yes.
Which way do you feel this game is going to go?
For Rams and Eagles, man. I mean, take fantasy implications out of it for me all day long.
Yeah.
I think these are
Move all bias.
Move all bias. I think these are two very solid teams. I think there's a little bit more for the Eagles to show, as we've been talking about here. But I would say I'm gonna go with the Eagles here, but I don't think it's gonna be an easy game. I think it's probably gonna come down to a field goal or a late touchdown to seal the game. I'm gonna roll with the Eagles on this one.
Air?
I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. The NFC West is wide open. This is a great spot to get a great win against the defending Super Bowl champions and cement yourself as a big game player in the NFC.
We'll get that game almost.
And you can always count on LA to throw the ball and there be one of the most dynamic offenses in the league under Sean McVay. A great defense, playing behind a great defense as well. That's a very dangerous team. I think this is a bit of a trap spot for the Eagles, and I think that the Rams will prevail.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well here. I think those D-lines are great. The coaching is great. The quarterbacks are great. But if it becomes a shootout of just throwing the ball, I trust Matthew Stafford just a touch more than Jalen Hurts. And I think that Eagles secondary isn't going to step up like they should. I don't know why, but I just feel that in my bones.
I love that, man.
We're currently sitting at 2-1 Rams here. I'm going to go ahead and make it 3-1. I'm with you all 100%. It's going to be a dogfight on both sides of the ball. Both teams are going to show why they're some of the best teams in the NFC. But the Rams are going to wake a lot of the people around the country up that are currently sleeping on them. I don't know why people consistently sleep on the Rams, but people are thinking like it's an all-green race here. That it's really just Eagles and Packers and Lions are floating around out there, but the rest of the NFC is kind of on the back burner. But I think Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and these Los Angeles Rams are going to show a lot of people why they are right in the thick of this conversation and why the NFC race is so wide open. I think these two wide receivers are key here. The defense, of course, they pay dividends. Second-year players really taking the next step. We saw them starting to grow up last season. But adding Devontae Adams is the biggest part here. And you're going up against the Eagles secondary that Riley just alluded to. Is very talented, yes, but they are inexperienced. Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell are two of the best corners in all of football, but they're very young. And when you have a guy like Devontae Adams out there, very savvy veteran, like I said, one of the best route runners we've ever seen, it's going to be hard to stick with no matter what. Then you got Puka Nacua, just a hard-nosed receiver that's just going to go out there and make plays. It's going to be a great game, but I see a last-minute drive at the end of the game for the Rams to win it in their future. I'm going with the Rams. Now, I want to spin back to a college football game we touched on earlier. The Texas Tech Red Raiders versus the Utah Utes. Big-time game in the Big 12. This is going to be super exciting. 12 o'clock kickoff. This is one of the games I'm the most excited for this college football weekend. John, I want to go with you. Who you got and why?
I mean, I think I'm going to roll with Utah here. I mean, you see what Dampier's doing on the offensive side of the ball from passing and to rushing as well. He's their leading rusher with almost 200 yards on the season and a touchdown as well. But also, their defense is pretty solid. John Daly, not the golfer, I promise you, not the golfer, already has 5 sacks on the season. It's just now hitting week 4. I would say it's pretty dominant. But don't be surprised if Texas Tech comes up, what am I trying to say here? Absolutely slinging the ball, because their quarterback has 923 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception out of that. So just don't be surprised if they come out slinging. But I'm going to roll Utah here. Go Utes.
I'm going to have to roll with the Utes too. Salt Lake City, stand up. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a battle. But I do believe Texas Tech is punching a bit above their weight in terms of, I believe Utah's a more well-coached team. I think they have a better increased continuity. They've proven themselves to be a very dangerous program over the past 4 or 5 years in college football. And I think Utah's going to perform at home. They're going to take Texas Tech very seriously, and they're going to have a great game in this conference matchup and get the win.
I'm going to the Utes too. You mentioned John Daly on their defense, but I also want to bring up Jackson Benny in the secondary. Has 3 interceptions on the season, if I'm not mistaken, already. So the Utah defense, that's an unstoppable force. And I think the Texas Tech offense is an immovable object. They will sling it. But I do think that Utah has the better coaching. They're at home. They're going to edge it out just a little bit.
Let me tell y'all something.
What's that?
Utah has a great coaching staff. But don't you dare sleep on my main man, Joey McGuire, over there in Lubbock, Texas. He is a phenomenal head coach. My original plan was to go with the Utes, and what I think is going to be a great game. We're going to see a mix of offense and defense. Deep down, I do trust Utah's defense a little more because we've seen it historically. Texas Tech, we haven't really seen them have the greatest defense. They haven't really played the greatest of competition this early this season. So it's yet to be seen with them. So I'm leaning Utah's direction because of how balanced they are, because of how dominant Devin Dampier is, because of the history, the recent 5 to 10 year history of this coaching staff and how dominant their defenses have been. But I'm not going to sit here and have all 4 of us picking Utah like this game is not a toss-up in my mind.
A little better talking to you on your shoulder.
Exactly. The devil on my shoulder is telling me, Rich, you need to go Texas Tech, play devil's advocate, and lean to the other side. And it's not hard for me to do because how high I am on Texas Tech.
Yeah,
in the preseason, I predicted Texas Tech to win the Big 12 championship. Even if they lose this game, I think they still can. I think it's going to come down to them and Utah and whoever else rises to the top. Baylor's floating around out there. The Big 12 is wide open. Iowa State's still undefeated. But I'm going to pick Texas Tech here. I think it's going to be a great game. I trust Utah's defense more, but I'm going to shake it up. I'm saving us from getting put on a graphic later for all picking Utah. I'm rolling with Texas Tech, and I expect a big-time coming-out party for Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders. Even if they lose this game, they're going to turn a lot of heads, and people are going to understand why people like myself are so high on that program and what they've been building. Now, for the Thursday night football matchup tonight, we're not going to sit here and ignore it. It's Thursday. We got to talk about Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Miami Dolphins. Currently doing a lot of turmoil right now. It's looking like Tyreek Hill might be looking for the door. They've started off 0-2, very rough start. Got fans flying propeller planes above the stadium that read "Fire Mike McDaniel," who was their head coach. It's been a rough start.
Very nasty. Players only meeting.
Yeah, got players only meetings
In
going
week one.
on. Yeah, it's not looking too pretty in Miami right now. And what better when all things are going wrong than to go on the road to Buffalo to take on your division rivals, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I feel like these picks are going to be pretty quick. So, Riley, who you got?
Well, I'm going to shock the world here. It's the Bills.
Oh, okay. I was like,
You
what?
really had me there. I'm
It's
not
the
going to
Bills by a
lie.
cajillion. It's the Bills by a cajillion. Like, we all know the problems with the Dolphins. They had players-only meetings after 1 week. It's terrible over there. The actual difficult thing to predict here is Mike McDaniel's going to say something hilariously stupid at the press conference afterwards.
He's good at it, man.
I'm going to say yes on that, but yeah, it's the Bills so easily.
I remember for something this game last year we also picked it on Sports Pack, and I picked the Bills, but it was one of like the weirdest games, and just a lot of stuff happened. So this game's got like some EBGBs around it for me. I'm still going with the Bills, no doubt, but it's just I don't know. Something says to me is like something weird is gonna happen this game.
Yeah, Miami strikes me as a team going through a lot of dysfunction and turmoil right now. I believe that the Bills are going to handle business surely at home. I think the reigning MVP, Josh Allen, probably has one of his best games of this season, probably somewhere upwards of 400 yards, I would say, and 3 or 4 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a coming out party for them, and I think they're going to keep their momentum rolling into next week, and it's just going to be kind of almost like an exhibition,
Go ahead and play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This time, I don't think I'm going to. I'll make it quick. For all the reasons you all just listed, I'm going to go with the Bills. Shout out my guy, JT Groves from Wolf Sports Network. He's great. He's on a lot of our shows. He's on the Playbook. He's on Outta Pocket. Jackson's running the TriCaster for us. So they're really close because they're on shows together. Shout out JT's up there in New York right now. He's a Bills fan. I'm going with the Bills, like I said, for all the reasons you guys listed for me. But that's all the time we got for Sports Pack. But before we leave, I would be remiss if I didn't do 2 things here. First of all, wish a very happy birthday to Mrs. Julia Howley, my guy John Howley's mom.
Love you.
Happy birthday, Mrs.
Happy
Julia
birthday.
Howley. I could not say that. And also, happy anniversary to my parents, Aleve and Richard Reed. Happy anniversary to you all as well. It's a pretty big day out here. Pretty big day right here at Wolf Sports Network.
And happy birthday to the operations manager here, Michael Tucker.
Michael Tucker. Look, it's a big Thursday here at Wolf Sports Network. A lot of big-time things going on. I think Michael already gone. I think he's going to get a little lit tonight. But, everybody got a reason to get lit. It's a big day. It's a great Thursday. And that's all the time we got for Sports Back. Really quick, I want to send out another thanks to our sponsors, Dine West, Westwoods Apartments, our Drink Responsibly campaign, our Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio book drive. Help us increase literacy rates by donating a book today. Go to wolfradio.com. What is it? That is the wolfuwg.com, /book drive. That is the wolfuwg.com /book drive to donate today. If you haven't yet, check out our merch store as well. Go to wolfsportsnetwork.com. That is wolfsportsnetwork.com. Click about in the top right corner and hit merch store to check out our selection. And if there's something that you would like to see with the Wolf Sports Network logo available, follow us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network. Shoot us a DM and let us know. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Sports Pack tonight. It was another fantastic Thursday episode. And remember, you can get on the fun as well. If you know somebody on the cast, hit us up, shoot us a text, but also text us on Wolf Sports Network on Instagram. Text us at Wolf Sports Network on Instagram and let us know that you are interested, and we'll tell you all you need to do to call in and have your voice be heard. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all Monday right here on Sports Pack.